Good morning, everyone. Mr. Sarbananda Sonowal, Union Minister of Ports, Shipping and Waterways, and Minister of Ayush as well, Sri K.J. George, the Karnataka Power Minister, distinguished speakers, and friends. I'm delighted to welcome you all to the first India Today Infrastructure Conclave being organized by India Today magazine. And we are honored and delighted that Sri Sonowal ji has agreed to deliver the inaugural address. Let's give him a very warm round of applause, please. Before I request Sri Sonowal ji to address this gathering, I just want to make 3 points as to why we did this and what is the significance of this. The first is, we know that the Prime Minister has talked of a Viksit Bharat. And the notion is that by 2047, when India completes 100 years of independence, we would be a developed country. What we did in India Today magazine was, during this Independence Day, we brought out a special issue looking at India at 2047 and what are the critical sectors that we need to look at to become a developed country, what are the priorities, what are the challenges, because this should not be a vague notion, a vision without an implementation plan. Among the things that we found when we did that was we defined what is the definition of a developed country. We all use it in a very loose way, but what is really the definition? Now, after looking at various things, we came across, well, 3 pointers. There are many ways you can define a developed country. One is per capita income. Average developed countries have a per capita income of around 20,000 US dollars. If you want to bring that down, you can be about $15,000. Okay, that's about 12 lakhs, 15 lakhs, that's the average. If you take a look at our per capita income at this time, it was around $2,000, 2,500, 2 lakhs or so. So we have to do this tremendous leap of about at least 8 times our current per capita. How do we do that? And that's where, when you look at the definition of developed countries, one of the most significant things that it says is that you must have a world-class infrastructure to be defined at. And that requires road, just giving you a few, airways, shipping, your telecom communications. Unless you have that, you are not defined. Of course, the third factor, and very important, is the values you have in terms of governance, democratic values, and your efficient government. So that's the construct that we are working on. Now, if you take a look at infrastructure, I think the Prime Minister has actually put money to the mouth, as we use that phrase. He has not just talked abstractly, and if you see that the first big push, not that we didn't have it in the first term of the Prime Minister Modi, we had, if you recall, both the Bharat Mala and of course in your area, Sagar Mala 2017, where the Prime Minister talked of building a network of roads and ports for connectivity and particularly logistics, and to ensure speedy global level kind of communications as well. These were 3 or 4 platforms. But I think one of the big things that happened right in the thick of COVID is that we had, if you remember, the National Infrastructure Pipeline being announced and a commitment of rupees 10 lakh crores for up to 2025. That's an enormous amount of commitment, which is almost 10 lakh crores, commitment of 100 lakh crores and 10 lakh crores every year. That was the sort of commitment that we were doing. Now, take the next step forward, and I'm going quickly because I want Sonowal ji to come in, is that the Prime Minister announces the Pradhan Mantri Gati Shakti scheme, which is in October 2021. Why is that important? Because so far all these 12 dozen ministries that were linked with infrastructure operated in silos. You needed to connect all these and ensure there's no duplication and everybody is working in coordination with each other. That would also facilitate multimodal transport, which is very critical. And finally, I'll just mention one more point as we get in, which is linked with the whole thing, which is next year, he announces the National Logistics Policy. Now, that is very important because if you have to do your network planning and a whole other ranges on terms of, how do you cut down the, time taken across, the logistics taken across, and the cost, very importantly, the cost, because our cost, they say, of logistics is, India's cost is about 13% of its GDP. Developed countries, their cost, logistics cost, is about 8% of the GDP. So we had to bridge this gap, and the national logistic policy, including a comprehensive logistics action plan, has been announced. So what has happened is that we have, and if you looked at our current budget, which is very, very important development that has happened, there's been a massive boost that has been given, close to, I think, 10 lakh crores in the 23-24 budget, which is almost a 33% increase for infrastructure. Just on infrastructure alone, you've got that kind of money, which railway is getting a large chunk of it, followed by, of course, roads, and then shipping has also been given a lot of money this time. So we have the money, we have the plan, and now the critical thing is the implementation. And that is why we've assembled here with a whole host of not only ministers who are present, we're also getting, of course, Mr. Ashwini Vaishnav, who's the Minister for Railways, Telecommunications, Information Technology, to address us in the afternoon. We have a phenomenal panelists that have come in, distinguished experts that are there, all to come in and discuss and create the priorities that we require for execution and take this country to become a Viksit Bharat by 2047. With these words, I'd like to call upon Shri Sonowal ji to address this gathering. And one small point, since I used to cover the armed forces, the Indian Navy used to be the stepbrother of the armed forces. It was the most neglected for a long, long time. The army used to get all the preference, then the Air Force, and finally the Navy was last priority. But as we know, the whole world has changed. Today we are looking at, a massive Navy, and in the same way, shipping used to be the stepsister of the infrastructure projects. We didn't give too much importance to it, long neglected, but I think in the last decade, there's been a dramatic change in the way we've approached shipping and why it's so critical to our infrastructure development. Sri Sonowal ji is one of our most distinguished politicians. He was Chief Minister of Assam for 5 years. I went to his office at that time, met him, successful stint over there, and then became the Union Minister in July 2021, if I'm not mistaken. So, Sonowal ji, welcome, and please deliver your welcome address.
Namaskar. Respected Raj Chengappa ji, respected Kosik Deka ji, and respected dignitaries. Today, I am really delighted to be here. I'm especially thankful to India, like this Think Today group, for their kind invitation to me and giving me an opportunity to express the present initiative undertaken by the Ministry of Port Shipping Waterways. And Rajji has already explained how infrastructure is key to the growth of a nation, growth of a society even. So globally, we want to be on the top of the world. So that's the target vision set by our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. And we have got very distinctive direction to all the ministries. Even all the citizens of the country have got this particular target destination to achieve in the next 25 years. So I believe to achieve that target destination, dream destination, to become the self-reliant India, to become the top developed nation in the world, every citizen will have to put their best possible effort. His citizens' duties and responsibilities will have to deeply realize and put into the right perspective for better implementation, better education, better serving to the nation. And of course, we have the Honorable Minister from the government of Karnataka, Mr. K.J. Josh. And I have a small write-up. Please bear with me. मैं पढ़ना चाहता हूँ क्योंकि there are some data need to be understood by everybody present here, because this learned gathering can create the people's opinion across the country, across the globe even. So, with this expectation, good morning to all of you present here today. Many, many thanks to the India Today Group for inviting me to the inaugural session of this prestigious India Today Infrastructure Conclave. Under the visionary leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji, India is experiencing an incredible upgrade in its infrastructure, driven by increased government investment and development initiative. Significant advancements are being witnessed in India's transportation network, including roads, railway, aviation, port, and waterways. This infrastructure development aims to enhance connectivity, reduce logistic costs, that's the very important point, and position India as a global economic powerhouse. Fueled by the ambitious PM Gati Shakti National Master Plan for multimodal infrastructure development, the new roads, railways, ports, waterways, and airports will help India fulfill its ambition to turn into a $5 trillion economy soon. In recent years, there has been a substantial increase in the pace of construction of national highways from an average of 12 kilometers per day in 2014-15 to around 29 kilometers per day in 21-22. The total length of the highways has expanded from about 97,800 kilometers in 2014 to more than 146,000 kilometers today. The introductions of the indigenously designed Vande Bharat Express, already functional in 34 routes, showcases India's commitment to high-speed rail travel. The number of airports with civilian flight has doubled in the last 9 years, from 74 in 2014 to 149 in 2023. The government focus on inland water transport has led to the declaration of 111 national waterways today, as compared to only 5 in 2014. The cargo transported through the inland waterways has increased exponentially by over 1,700% during the last 9 years. 1,700%. That's the cargo, like transportation through the inland waterways. Ports have been the lifeblood of the nation for centuries, facilitating connection with the rest of the world. Today, as India stands at the thresholds of becoming an economic superpower, its ports continue to play a pivotal role as gateway to the world, because whatever infrastructure in the port sector, whatever modernization, whatever initiative so far taken in the last 9.5 years, this has empowered our efficiency, enhanced our capacity building. So that way, it has played a key role. One of the key factors that make Indian ports vital gateway to the world is their geographical location. India's position at the crossroads of major international trade routes connecting Southeast Asia, the Middle East, and Africa to the rest part of the world is strategic. Historically, Indian ports have been instrumental in fostering international trade. The ancient Silk Road connecting India to Europe and beyond was testament to the significance of Indian ports in global commerce. Government under the visionary leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji recognizes the importance of ports as integral component of trade and economic strategies rather than isolated entities. This is evident in its policy frameworks, investment decision, and strategic initiative aimed at optimizing the potential of maritime infrastructure for economic development and global connectivity. In this respect, various initiatives under Sagarmala program in the last 8 years to increase the capacity of ports by infrastructure modernization, and improving the connectivity of ports have helped in lowering overall operational cost of ports, reducing turnaround time for vessels, increasing efficiency and throughput, providing the ability to handle larger ships, and developing strategic importance of Indian ports in the South Asian region. It is the result of these efforts at ports which help India to achieve the $450 billion of goods export record in 2022-23. First time, never before. So this has been happening because of the active support of the people of the country under the dynamic leadership of Honorable Prime Minister. Government is focused and putting efforts on revitalizing logistics through transformative initiative, Prime Minister Gati Shakti National Master Plan and National Logistic Policy 2022 to augment the supply chain and create a multimodal logistic network to enhance efficiency. Our major ports are today witnessing double-digit annual growth. As per the recent, this is very important line. I believe everybody should remember it and also propagate it because this is the growth of the nation. As per the recent World Bank Logistic Performance Index report, India has moved up from 44th rank in the international shipment category in year 2019 to 22nd rank in 2022. From 44 to 22. India's spectacularly climbed 16 position among 139 countries from 54th position to 38th position in 2022. In timelines of shipment delivery, the country witnessed a 17-place jump in ranking from 52 in 2018 to 35 in 2023. Today, our average container dwell time, this is very key because एक जहाज अगर घंटा भर, दिन भर उनको इंतजार करना पड़े लोडिंग अनलोडिंग के सिलसिले में तो बिजनेस कभी बनते नहीं. So this is a very key to the port operation. Today, our average container dwell time is much better than advanced countries such as USA and Germany. Our turnaround time of 0.9 days is better than Canada, Australia, Germany, and USA. Our nation maritime industry, vital to our economic growth and global connectivity, has set sail towards a future unparalleled achievement. In this regard, Ministry of Port, Shipping and Waterways has formulated a comprehensive roadmap to realize the transformative journey. In the recently concluded Global Maritime India Summit 2023, Honorable Prime Minister has launched the bold and ambitious Maritime Amritkal Vision 2047. It envisions unlocking investment of 80 lakhs crore for the development of maritime sector during the period, during the Amritkal. In the next 25 years, there will be investment of 80 lakhs crore. That is the target set for our maritime industry. Towards achieving this vision, for your information, the Global Maritime India Summit 2023 made a wonderful beginning by securing an investment commitment of more than 10 lakhs crore. आप सबको मालूम है पिछली 17, 18, 19 अक्टूबर को there was a event, very, very important global event, Global Maritime India Summit 2023. तो देश विदेश से जो भी प्रतिनिधि आए तो उसमें हमें जो भी कमिटमेंट मिले, only in 3 days we got the commitment of 10 lakhs crore investment in the different sector of maritime industry. तो किसी का सवाल भी थे कि ये संभव हो सकता है क्या 80 लाख करोड़, अगर 3 दिन में 10 लाख करोड़ हो सकता है, 25 साल में क्यों नहीं? आपको नहीं लगता है? Don't you feel it's a reality? I believe we must be on the reality of kind of happenings, and that is possible. To accommodate this growth, our ports are ready to handle unprecedented cargo volumes. The vision is to boost cargo handling by ports to approximately 7,000 million ton per annum, a remarkable leap from the current 1,300 million ton per annum. So that is the target vision. This represents a six-fold increase that necessitates substantial port capacity expansion. With India's port currently estimated at around 2,500 million ton per annum, we foresee a four-fold increase in capacity to more than 10,000 million ton per annum over the next 25 years. To make this expansion possible, we are committed to embrace the 100% public-private partnership model, adopting a landlord port approach. We believe private sector capital and efficiency will play a pivotal role in this endeavor. We anticipate that by 2030, more than 85% of cargo will be handled at landlord ports, eventually culminating in the full transition by 2047. The Jain P Authority, yani ki Jawaharlal Nehru Port Authority, has already achieved 100% PPP operated port under this model. In our journey towards a greener future, we are committed to reducing our carbon footprint. The maritime industry has a critical role to play in mitigating climate change. Through our Harit Sagar guidelines, we aim to incorporate green initiative in all major and non-major ports. Land-based activities will transition to LNG, CNG fuel ports, vehicle, and 100% electrified port handling equipment. Seaside emission will be addressed through 100% shore-to-ship power supply. पहले जो bunkering like oil थी तो काफी pollution लाते थे. अब pollution ना हो, कार्बन न्यूट्रल के सिलसिले में ये व्यवस्था की गई है. From ship, like shore to ship, the power supply will be like this thing generated. Green hydrogen and ammonia as alternate fuels will also play a significant role. We plan to explore the potential for all ports vehicle and to establish major ports as hydrogen and ammonia storage, production and trading hub. The concept of smart port is central to our vision. Initiative like eGate 2.0, robotic automation, drone-based inventory management, smart quays, intelligent truck booking, and more will redefine efficiency and productivity in our ports. This would be the technological incorporation. India's shipbuilding and repair sector is poised for monumental growth, with the aim to be among the top 5 global players by 2047. We will foster policy support and financial assistance to boost this particular industry. Shipbuilding and repair cluster will emerge in strategic locations such as Mumbai, Kochi, Chennai, Gujarat, Goa, Visakhapatnam, Andaman, and Nicobar, and Odisha. Our commitment extends to ship recycling as well. India aspires to be the world leader in this domain, with a series of initiatives to boost competitiveness and create a sustainable ecosystem. Autonomous vessel technology is a burgeoning fuel And we are proud to lead the way with projects like the delivery of autonomous electric barges to Norway by the Cochin Shipyard Limited. यानी कि हमारे जो शिप बिल्डर है प्रमुख कोचिन शिपयार्ड लिमिटेड, उन्होंने 2 ऐसे वेसल बना के नॉर्वे को भेजा है. यानी कि दिस इज द वे वी आर क्रिएटिंग अ ग्लोबल मार्केट, वी आर क्रिएटिंग अ डिमांड ऑफ आवर शिप बिल्डर इन द अक्रॉस द वर्ल्ड. सो दिस इज अ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट growth. Not only the capacity of port being enhanced, but a multimodal connectivity is also envisaged with the inland waterways. A robust inland waterways network has also the ability to reduce the logistic cost. Water transport is becoming the means to come together for regional partnership. Our focus on the development of 5,000 kilometers of regional waterways grid, primarily comprising 4 key waterways and certain international routes, will help facilitate regional trade in South Asian and Southeast Asian countries. At the G20 summit, we announced a path-breaking initiative, the India Middle East Europe Economic Corridor, IMEEC. It is planned to connect India to the Middle East nation through shipping lines. This will also encompass our focus on building next generation mega ports. Vadhavan ports and Tona Tekra development will be key project to support IMEEC. ये जो बड़े हमारे प्रोजेक्ट, एक गुजरात में टोना टिकरा, अदरवाइज अदर वन इज महाराष्ट्र, इट्स कमिंग अप. So that will facilitate a lot of big vessels with cargo and container. Similarly, as part of our island development program, Galathea Bay in Andaman and Nicobar Island will be developed as an international container transshipment port. This project on the key trade of West and East can truly sense the maritime landscape for the region. The government is not only developing ports for handling cargo, but they are also being augmented to handle cruise call, which has immense potential in India. अभी रिवर क्रूज, ओशियन क्रूज और कोस्टल क्रूज तीनों हिंदुस्तान में शुरू हो गए हैं. Under the Maritime India Vision 2030, government envisions to establish India as the premier cruise hub in the Asia-Pacific region. To achieve this goal, significant steps are being taken, including the development of state-of-the-art cruise terminals, the implementation of standardized procedure, and the introduction of e-visa facilities, among other measures. Going forwards, the objective is to increase the annual number of cruise passengers in India to 50 lakhs by 2047. 50 lakhs, up from the current figure of 4.72 lakhs. अब तक तो 4,72,000 क्रूज पैसेंजर आए हैं. उसको हम बढ़ाने के लिए जो लक्ष्य रखी है, up to 50 lakhs by 2047. To achieve that target, we'll have to create ecosystem so that, like, whether it is river cruise, coastal cruise, ocean cruise, all these three, kind of cruise can be well accommodated, well facilitated, so that, this become very much comfortable for our cruise passengers. In accordance with the Maritime Amritkal Vision 2047 introduced by the Honorable Prime Minister during the recently concluded Global Maritime India Summit 2023 in Mumbai, it is projected that India will have 25 operational cruise terminals by 2047, with an estimated passenger count of approximately 50 million cruise passengers. Additionally, a well-defined and consistent cruise tourism policy will be established in line with international standards and practices. Cordelia and Costa Serena are an example of international cruise lines now operating in India. Ganga Vilas, MB Ganga Vilas, you all know how it has created world record by completing the voyage of 3,200 kilometers from Benares to Dibrugarh through Bangladesh Portugal road. So that was the longest river cruise in the world ever operated. So I believe इसके लिए आप कम से कम हौसला तो बढ़ाइए. ये परम आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का ही विजन है, उनकी दिए हुए दिशा निर्देश और मार्गदर्शन की वजह से ये संभव हुई है. These visionary initiatives are poised to transform Indian ports into an unparalleled gateway to the world, heralding a new era of global connectivity and economic progress. This government is committed to continuing its investment in infrastructure. It has set a target of investing rupees 110 lakhs crore in infrastructure under the National Infrastructure Pipelines. This is a significant investment that will have a long-term impact on the Indian economy. The infrastructure push being provided under the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji is having a positive impact on the Indian economy. It is creating jobs, boosting investment, improving productivity. These are the three important: creating jobs, boosting investment, and improving productivity. It is also helping to reduce poverty and inequality. So this is the point I have highlighted before you. And this India Today is a very, very reputed media house in the country. We are all proud of your contribution to the nation. And today, we all know that whatever exemplary transformation we have witnessed, this is always giving boost to the kind of encouragement to every citizen of the country. Tremendous boost. And every Indian now feel proud. This is something exemplary, because in the 9.5 years, whatever transformation, right from a street vendor to the top, different sector of the people got social security and economic upliftment because of the infrastructural growth, because of the reduction of logistic costs, because of the policy, program and initiative right in place, and that too with quality implementation. To make it a quality implementation, you need honesty, courage, determination, devotion, dedication, discipline and decency. I believe these are all being incorporated into the personality of our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, and who has guided from the front to the nation with ability, commitment and vision. Thank you.